Live. I'll jump on Instagram. I'll do the
Yep.
swipe up.
Hello. Let's see.
It's us.
I need to make sure I could see the chat. Can you guys hear? Oh, there goes the... There we go.
It's live. I'll jump on Instagram. I'll do the Who's in
Yep.
chat?
Hello. All right, cool. Let me throw this on Instagram. And we will... Give me one second here. Oh, I can just do it on my phone. Hello, everyone. Okay, cool. I'm glad it sounds good. I'm here with the streaming legend, and he's teaching me his ways. It's like Obi-Wan and young Anakin.
Yeah, look, it's a bit of a it takes a lot of master streaming, but you're doing well, Jesse.
Yeah,
Post blackout, you're doing well.
I know. Now I'm looking so bright in here, and yesterday I was watching your stream on my phone on low battery mode with the candle on, just
That's
waiting.
I can't even imagine the fear. That would scare me a lot. So it's very brave of you to fight the blackout and watch my stream. All right, I'm sharing it to my story, Jesse.
All right. Yo, Graphic Lounge, how's it going? Fish Doctor, Miranda, Elliot Ulm in the chat as well.
Yeah, of course.
And there's Gian putting the Elliot's bless emote. That doesn't work here.
It doesn't work here. Stop using my emotes, guys. Come on.
All right, let's see. Let me get this. Let's just give me a couple minutes. Let some people get in here.
James is here. Hello, Ed Moisten. Hello.
Ed Moisten. Yeah, it's like you were saying, we're going to see everyone's real identities now.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Logan is here. Hello. All these people from my chat coming over. Lovely to see. Lovely.
Yeah, so if the audio is good, let me know if we run into any issues, just because it's kind of hard to monitor on the fly.
And Euphoria Design. Yeah, this is my first YouTube video. I told everyone I would make a YouTube video, so here I am.
Yeah.
It's happening.
It's kind of a loophole, huh?
Oh, yeah. I feel like I could... Oh, that's so funny. Because like, I have all this footage. This is like a bit of pre-footage.
This is your channel trailer.
This is my channel trailer, exactly.
It's funny because you have you have like a good handful of subs, even though like it's just in anticipation. So I think once you finally drop a video, it'll do pretty well, probably.
and it'll be a Twitch clip. That's the thing. It's gonna be a YouTube short. It's not gonna be a bloody full video, because I recorded one. I actually sat down and did like my experience as a freelancer kind of
like your
video.
Story.
Yeah, like I tried to.
College graphic designers don't want you to hear this.
Legit. Like, this is let me change your idea of what graphic design is. And I sat down and I tried to record it, and I could not do it. I could not do it for the life of me. It was horrible.
Yeah. Oh, how's it going, Pondo? Appreciate it. Pondo.
Hello, aggressive stepdad.
Cool.
Designer direct. Aslan.
Direct. Nice. We got the reshare pages in here.
Yeah, well, that's massive. How many viewers we got? 18 viewers. Very nice.
Not bad.
YouTube live streams is an interesting world. I want. Does everyone get a notification if they subscribe to you? Is that a thing as well?
I don't know. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. I put the notification thing out. I wasn't sure. I think you had to push remind, or if you have notifications set, it's like you have to toggle them on or whatever when you subscribe. That's why you always hear the guys saying like, ring that bell when you, like, because like it sucks.
Guys, if you're in the chat, If that bell isn't filled, ring that bell.
Yeah.
Slap that bell button. Come on.
It better be loud too. So I'm just saying this in advance. There's probably going to be about an hour in where I'm going to have to do a cheeky battery swap on the camera. So you're going to have to stall with some kind of, even though you stalled.
Yeah, I'll do some fun, I'll just go, oh, it's a blackout. Oh, look at that. I'm good.
No.
That's funny. I got all this stuff ready.
It's funny because I was going to talk to you about that. I'm so glad that, like, I'm not happy about what happened yesterday. It sucked that the blackout happened and I was just like sitting there like, oh no, how do I reschedule this? But I was like, thank God it's Elliot, because like you really put your improv skills to work. You know, you're just like, I'm going to get on Twitch, and all of a sudden you just did like a normal 3-hour stream or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I wanted to chat in general. I felt like it would be a waste of energy because I was like, very ready to have a long conversation.
Yeah.
So
you were already
like,
in the mood.
Jump on. Yeah, I was. It's true. I had a coffee and I was like, I'm ready to talk. Let's do it. And then jumped on, had a little chat. Got a few raids. It was a great stream.
11 for you or 12?
It's 11:07 right now.
Okay, because I know
it's nice.
It's hard to find a time, and a lot of people from the UK were like, "I'll try, man," but it's 1 a.m. or whatever. I guess it's hard to figure out. There's so many time zones. It's like it was hard enough just to know where me and you were gonna be at if we were gonna line up in a correct way, because it's like 6:08 for over here.
Yeah, it's like for me when I stream, I'm either streaming for the US audience or I'm streaming for the UK audience, because like the time when both continents are awake is when I'm asleep. Like that's just how it works. Australia.
No love for the motherland.
No, none of my viewers are from Australia. A few of them are. I don't want to disrespect them, but the majority is from the US because it's like nighttime. When I stream, it's nighttime for the US, which is perfect time to watch a stream.
Yeah, in your Discord, whenever you announce it, it's either like 5 or 6 when I'm just finishing work, or it's like 2 a.m. I think.
Exactly. Yep, and that's the European time zone, and it's 10 a.m. if you're in the UK. So
which one's more popular?
You either the day ones. It's much easier to watch a stream a weekday night rather than like daytime on a weekday. Like most people are working,
right?
So I'm having to like completely change what I do on those night streams. Well, the day streams for the UK, because like I'm like I want it to be a stream that people can kind of do work to rather than completely get consumed by it, because I think that's what they tend to be sometimes, because they get a bit out of hand.
Yeah.
So I need to make a chill stream at night and then a chaotic stream at day.
Mm-hmm. And you have more energy, or it's like, I don't know, like your energy's different, you know, in the day and in the nighttime. Like not just you, but I feel like anyone, they have a different. You either you already did the whole day or you're starting your day. I always record in the morning on the weekends, because sometimes I try to record, you know, like post 6 p.m. and I have like that tired designer eye. Like I've been staring at the screen all day and my eyes are so red.
Oh, it's the worst. I'm as someone who works primarily at night, whenever it's like the day, like a day stream is just, I don't feel like I'm working when I'm streaming unless I actually have to open Photoshop. But it's kind of like having people there to kind of cheer you on, I guess.
Yeah,
is nice. It keeps you motivated. It at least forces you to do something when you have like a 3-hour countdown kind of going.
Yeah.
You're like, I gotta make something by the end of this stream.
I'm just noticing right now, looking at your Disney shirt. I think the last time we talked, you were wearing that shirt like 6 months ago.
I probably was. That'd be right.
Is that an all-time favorite?
I've only got. I rotate through a few for the show, for the lives, all the fun Disney vintage ones. So there you go.
Keep it on brand.
Yeah, it's just on brand. It's a little brand, you know, trying to.
Because you don't use the little guys as much anymore, like the old like Steamboat Willie type, or Oswald.
Yeah, I don't know why I stopped. I think it was like because they weren't my characters, I guess, and I kind of felt bad. They're royalty free, so I can definitely use them, but they're like, you know, it's a bit silly. So
it's like how I use the smiley face, right? And someone like recently, my friend was like, did you copy like this? And I was like, dude, it's a smiley face. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? Did I copy? Someone was asking me like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, you should watch out. Like Chinatown Market, their logo's a smiley face. And I was just like, they didn't invent the smiley face either.
No.
It's everywhere.
Like, there's literally an Instagram page called Smiley, which is verified because it's a brand, and that is like who coined the smiley face or something. They have the royalties to it or whatever.
Have you seen the picture of the guy that originally drew it? He looks all depressed and he's just standing there like kind of like.
I haven't seen it. There you go.
It's really weird because it's like
someone had to draw it at the start, eh?
Yeah, like someone had to do it originally, and you would think that would have existed ever since like hieroglyphics or something, like cave paintings finding smiley faces.
Yeah, but it's relatively new in regards to the whole thing.
Yeah. Speaking of, I was saying that you kind of whipped out your acting chops to save yesterday's disaster. Do you have anything? I heard you speaking about it slightly. Do you have anything coming up that's exciting, or are you doing any acting stuff?
Nothing major, just because it's like, because since I don't have an agent or anything like that, so I'm trying to get one, I guess. And there's a few like little things that are coming up, which will be fun for like Sydney-based kind of things, like a few comedy shows and stuff. But nothing major because I've been devoting all of my time to the bloody design page and the stream. But yeah, hopefully as the year kind of goes on, as COVID restrictions continue to lift, not that they exist anymore in Australia, but as kind of normality returns, it'll be good to just like relax a bit more and on the page and kind of focus on what I really want to do, which is the performing side. Because like Twitch is very much performance, which is why I love it so much. But yeah, it's still not the same as like being on stage and hearing a live audience reaction. It's like you make a joke on Twitch, you wait 2 seconds for the lag to catch up, and then you see the ha-has. And it's like, it's still satisfying, but it's not nowhere near as satisfying as a live audience. And I haven't performed in front of a live audience for a year plus.
Wow. And were you doing that somewhat regularly before COVID?
Yeah, I was doing a lot of like improv gigs and comedy stuff. And then it kind of just, literally April last year, everything shut down. And then a lot of the theaters haven't been able to open up again, or they've moved to smaller venues, which is a real shame. I was going to try and go to the US and do improv over there, but all of those theaters have shut down as well. And it's just, it's tragic.
I was supposed to see one in March, like last year. Yeah. I don't know if I told you about this, but it was like somewhere, I think the show was for March, like actually, like, so we had it was Book of Mormon. So like, obviously like it's famous and all that. And I'm not really like a play person. So, but everyone I know was saying like, it's kind of an exception, you know, like anyone would like it probably. You don't have to be into like super into plays or theater. And I was like, all right, fine. So I bought like me and my girlfriend pretty nice tickets. Like it was at this cool like old theater in LA. I forgot what it's called now. But then COVID hit and they were like, don't worry, we're still doing it. And then it was like everything. Every day you would check and it'd be like, maybe not. And then like the next day it'd be like, we're closed till next year. And you're like, oh man.
Oh, it was whack how everything just changed so quickly. It was like, because I remember they cut the audience in half or something. Well, no, actually, the first thing they didn't even try doing social distancing at a theater because it was like everything shut down before social distancing was kind of introduced as a concept. So yeah, everything just shut down out of nowhere. And then it was like slowly as it went on, it was like, okay, 50% of the audience is back in. No one can sit next to each other. Like that was the big thing. I remember going to a show in September, I think, at the biggest theater company in Sydney, and it wasn't even a great show, but it was like just being back in the theater. But like I went with my girlfriend, and like we couldn't even sit next to each other. Like for some, even someone that you had seen every day, like you could not sit next to them. Everyone had to sit separately. And it was a very strange feeling. And then like within a month, everything was back to like 75%. And then now it's at 100%. I was at a Full House show last night, saw a musical, and it was like no one was wearing a mask. It is a really, it just feels pretty lucky to be in Australia right now. I will be honest. It is very, very good.
I saw what looked really cool was when you had that event that you didn't have it, but you had a piece at that little art show. It was like you had the one It was like one of your Pringle looking like poster designs,
Yeah.
you posed with it and stuff. And I remember Kesey from Black Market, like we were looking at it and we were just like, damn, like because we're both in the US, we were like, Australia looks lit, like they're all partying and shit, like having an art show.
Oh yeah, it was literally like, we are reading chat, by the way, Emma. At least I've got chat up here. Have you got chat?
Yeah, I'm glancing at it.
Yeah. No, yeah, that show was great. That was like a launch party for a very small studio that a few of my friends ran. And yeah, there was like a line out the door. It was entirely a massive event. Very, very close and very warm inside. And like, that was kind of the first real, it felt very weird going to it. It's like going to the first party when everything opened up to 100% capacity was so strange. And I could not talk to anyone because you're so not used to like group conversations in person. Yeah, I'm awkward in general, but like usually I can do pretty okay. But like when you have just been chatting to people either on Zoom or you meet up with like less than 10 people and suddenly there's like 50 people at a place and you're like, who the hell, what do I do here? Like, do you hug people when you like say hi? You know, like all this kind of stuff.
And everyone's doing that weird like
legit like let's do this, man. Like it's so strange. But yeah, you get it kind of feels close to normal again, which is good. It still feels a bit weird. Like I still try and like little things like in my netball team, we finish a game and we don't shake hands. I play netball. Do you know netball?
I think I know, but it might be called different over here.
It's like basketball, but it's a very Australian thing. It's like basketball, but you can't dribble. Like you just
it's like ultimate frisbee. Like, do you know that?
Yeah, it is quite similar to ultimate frisbee. But yeah, it's like I played in a team with my friends, and you finish the game, and no one shakes hands. Still, it's like a thing that.
But even though you're like guarding each other and shit,
it's a very physical sport, and like you're up in people's faces, and then you literally don't even do anything. Like my position, Ruby in the chat, is I'm a wing attack. Love it.
You heard it.
Best position.
It's
funny me first, everyone.
They do that in like the NBA. Like they're literally like posting up like so much. It's like skin to skin, like sweating on each other. Yeah. People are getting like dunked on, and then at the end of the games, they're like, "Wear your mask. You can't even shake hands or talk to the other players." And it's like you were just like holding the guy the whole time. Like
yeah, legit. It's like there's no. How can you even try and like regulate that sport? And like even in the, I mean, I don't know what the situation is in the US or anything, but like I've been watching my team, the Wizards, and they've just introduced an audience again. Like they've got a crowd now. They've got like 10 people in the crowd or something like that.
Yeah, it's nice that you like them because you're probably the only fan of the Wizards outside of the US. Because
that's probably true.
I don't know a lot of Wizards fans, and it's funny that you don't even live over here. Usually, people that live in other countries, they choose like the really known teams or whatever.
Yeah, it's so funny though because like I started like following the team when I was like 14 or something, when I played 2K14.
Right.
And
wait, so when they like first got John Wall and stuff?
Yeah, literally it was the John Wall era when they changed the jerseys as well to the red, white, and blue. And like looking at it now, I'm like, oh, of course, primary colors. Like, of course I liked the team and I liked the jerseys and all that. It's like literally what I work with now.
Right.
And I was kind of just drawn to that. It's so funny, like looking back at like what this is a whack story. There's a big horse race in Australia called the Melbourne Cup, which is like the biggest horse race in the thing. And when like I was 5 or something, my parents got me to like, I obviously don't agree with horse racing now, but when you're 5, you think it's like, well, a bit of fun. And like I was told to just pick 3 winners, right? Pick first, second, and third.
Right.
And just based on the colors of what the jockeys would be wearing and the names. And I picked first, second, and third. And I chose first. Like they came first, second, and third. I was bang on based on the colors.
Tiny Dancer and like Little Finger.
Yeah, legit. Like How You Going or something, like whatever the Australian ones would be called. And picked first, second, and third. And then my mum didn't think that I would pick them correctly, so she never even like put the bet through.
It's like when you don't plug in the controller for like your little cousin or whatever.
Legit. It was a real shame. A real shame. Would have won a bit of money, but one and done, eh? Well, that's all of my luck in my life.
Yeah.
We did horse race bets at school with our teacher, Australia. So, right, Ruby? It's literally like horse racing culture
Dude,
here
that
is
stuff's so bad
big.
too. I remember
It's
we have one Santa Anita or something in Southern California, and it's like the numbers of horses that die like every like month or year is so high. And if it was a different industry, it would have been shut down so fast. They're like, oh, 100%. There goes the 700th this like in the past 10 years. And I'm like, what? Like it's in like triple digits. It's insane.
It's like you see the Australian ones. It's like the Melbourne Cup pretty much every year. Like you'll see there's this, they're focusing on the winner and you're like, yes, this one won. And then you're like, wait, where's the 12th horse of this race?
Yeah,
like only 11 finished. And then they do it like a wide angle or something. And then there's just a big sheet on the, covering something obviously. And you're like,
wow.
They just like put down a horse. Like on the fucking race, they put down a horse. And like the fact that people like, I mean, the way it's treated in Australia with like, it's such a big drinking culture thing as well. And it's like people
it's
dress
like
up
rich people stuff too, right?
Not even, it's like, it is rich people, but then there's this whole other side to it where it's like people fresh out of high school. Like,
a partying? That's where you go?
Like it's like a prom almost. Like they dress up like a prom. Like it's like get in the suits, the dresses, and then they kind of like rock up and, get absolutely shit-faced. Bet on a few horses, lose all their money, and then they're like, whatever. And like 2 horses have died in the span of the time that they're being here. And
Brady, we're talking about real design stuff over here. We're talking about how many horses die at the racetracks and how I guess in Australia it's as cool as prom for the youngins out there.
They won't shut it down because tradition, exactly. And it's so much money in it in Australia. The gambling industry in Australia is ridiculous how much money there is. It's just, they built this massive new casino, like massive casino at near where I work at this theater. And it's like a huge building. It's almost the tallest building in Sydney. And they recently got their gambling license revoked before they could even open up the casino post-COVID. And they have to wait like another year before they can apply to actually like use all these like features that they've set up. And I'm like, yes, big win for the good people of the world.
For PETA or something. So what have you been working on besides I know you've been like a little more low key on Twitch, and it seems like on Instagram, I don't know if it's slowed down, but I think so.
It has. It so has.
So like, you've just been doing that acting thing, right?
Yeah, well, trying to. Like I'm currently doing just a little bit of contract work for like a 8-week kind of contract, just doing theater admin at Sydney Theatre Company, because I just wanted to be back in like.
Right.
I'm in an office, I'm outside of I get to leave this desk. And I'm, around other actors who are doing it as well, just as like kind of a bit of admin work. And it's really fun just like interacting with people who aren't designers for once. Because like the whole year I've just talked to designers and stuff. And like my whole sense of comedy has kind of changed completely to like my whole sense of comedy has become about graphic design. Like I don't know what jokes. Like I'm like, oh, I should make a TikTok. Oh, what graphic design joke do I want to make a TikTok? And I'm like, why can't I just make a regular joke for once? Like, why are these always...
You're at the office like, hey, Comic Sans, right? And they're just
legit.
Right,
it's like,
whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Comic Sans, haha, yeah. But yeah, like, it's a really weird thing. But yeah, I'm doing work there for a little bit. I've got like 2 weeks left of that. And then I'll be back into kind of... I'm changing the page to more of a... Because I mean, I've always wanted to do sell stickers and sell merch and stuff, and I never really got around to it because I didn't really want to use Printful either, which is kind of the main dropshipping one.
It's trash.
Yeah, it's just like I got a print from Lauren Martin Studio, who I'm such a big fan of, and I got a print from
super cool illustrations.
And, like it was a super cheap print. It was like $20. And, the quality was all right. Like, it's nothing amazing, but it's still pretty solid. But, like, I noticed that she's changed from Printful to this New York-based printing studio called Beezer Printing or something.
Yeah.
And they have only just recently started doing the full dropshipping service, essentially. Print-on-demand kind of stuff with shirts and stickers.
You're talking about that yesterday, right?
Yeah, shirts and stickers. So I'm gonna like contact them once this job is done, and then hopefully kind of get stickers out. And I think also just like I released some new phone cases with Casetify, and I realized that I've only ever promoted them on my page twice in the history of that
Yeah.
8 month tenure that
And
I've had with them.
and it
Like,
still did like so well, right?
yeah, still because they've been pumping the ads, but like I need to kind of get back on that horse and promote that a bit more. In fact, I realized I fucking didn't even. Oh, I didn't even cash out my last month because I forgot to do it. That's very frustrating. I never forgot before. That's a little thing that I'm only just realizing now.
Bye,
But yeah,
Emma.
it's like,
Thanks for
yeah,
coming
see
in.
ya, Emma. Lovely to see you. But yeah, I'm kind of changing it into posting every day.
Hmm.
Um, just working on a Monday, getting like a whole bunch of content prepared for the week, and then scheduling it all and just not worrying about it. Like
Right.
that's kind of what I want to do. Because I'm realizing right now I get to the point where it's like I haven't posted in a day or two or three now. And I just think like, oh God, I have to post something today. And I spent 3 hours in the wrong mindset, not ready to
Hmm.
make a post, trying to make something. And
Right.
then I posted and it flops because I wasn't really ready to make a
Yeah.
post that day, and then it's done nothing for the page. Like I was better off not posting.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
I think just
that's
having like
a good
a
way to look at it because everything's right now is
yeah,
so pushing like make sure like if you're not in front of the eyes, you're invisible. Like you're nobody. Like
yeah,
if you're not there, like people are gonna forget about you. But it's like they really don't. Some people like I talked to someone like one time like, oh, do you think I have to post every day? And they were like, yeah, yeah. And then I talked to like my actual audience and they were like, I thought you already were posting every day. Like they don't even
legit
notice.
every day. People genuinely think I post every day, and I'm like I post twice a week now. At like 2 to 3 maybe. Um, I feel like 2021 has started pushing everyone to make better changes in the practice. 100% Ruby. It literally
Yeah.
feels, yeah, I think it's like 2020 was the grind. It was like, oh, now that I have all this time in front of my computer, like I'm going to build a fucking business. And I
Yeah.
did, and it worked, but like it was, I didn't have to. Like at that rate of the amount of work I was putting into it was unnecessary. Unpaid work at that, like it only really started paying out.
Yeah.
Um, and like, I was lucky to be in that position to have all that kind of time, I guess, to just pump out work on the page, and I had a really good routine and things were working. But then once I hit 100K, I just lost all inspiration, and I was like,
Cause that's like
was
such
I
a
really?
goal, right?
I was like, I was working for it towards a number, and now I've
Yeah.
hit the number, and now I'm done. Like that is that. What do I do with the page now? And I've realized, I have an audience. I should turn it into some sort of like, yeah, stories. Exactly,
Yeah.
Ruby. Like the story I put up yesterday, um, the day before promoting this, and it was literally a poll that just said, "Hey everyone," or "Hey Instagram," right?
Yep.
Most viewed story I have ever put up, and it was just, "Hey Instagram," and me and a
Yeah.
dog.
That's
Not
how it
even my
goes.
dog. Like that's how it is. Like, and I'm like, I got 20,000 views, and
Wow.
my posts don't get 20,000 likes. Like,
Right.
I might as well do more of that kind of stuff and more focused marketing, rather than just like putting up another funny post. There's only so many jokes that you can make. Like one of my most successful posts was me, photos of me holding up my prints.
Oh, it's so
That did so
crazy.
well.
People, no,
Like
I
because
noticed
people
that.
saw me,
Hmm.
yeah, and they
One of
I'm
my
so
best
not used
posts
to
was
like
the one of
posting.
me taking the picture of like in the mirror and I just cut it out and I put like, I got 3,000 followers. That got more likes than
Yeah,
like a
because
bunch of
people
recent
love
shit.
you more than the page. Like
It's
that's
weird.
it. It's all about being personal, and I never really put that into practice until the start of this year, where I started posting photos of me with my work or whatever.
Me and
And
Harry were talking about that a lot when I had him on the
mm,
podcast. We were talking
yeah,
about like we actually used you though as the anti like spectrum of him, like someone that's like very personable and like streaming and stuff. Because I always talk to him about how he's like such like a mystery in a way. And like
yeah,
just in
yeah,
the
yeah.
past couple weeks, he's posted like 3 pictures of himself. So I like to think that that kind
I
of
feel proud
helped.
of the guy. Like just seeing that he's like posting photos of him, because it's like I know a lot of like people like Roy Cranston, right?
Hmm.
Like so I've chatted with Roy about this in terms of like he's thinking about starting streaming.
Hmm.
And he's like, do I start streaming and kind of like possibly give away this mysterious kind of secretive process that he has and he really likes about himself?
Yeah.
or do I try and is there a benefit to the community, I guess? And as someone who's completely embraced the community side of it with the type house and everything, I'm kind of a bit against the kind of secretive thing in terms of like where that actually gets you
Right.
as a career. Like it's like, I don't know, like I feel like when you have work that's really good, the live streaming it and like being personable about it, answering questions and stuff is just helping the next generation, I guess. You know, you're always going to be helping someone who says anything.
I think the reason he's so worried about that, Roy, in specific, compared to people, is like, yeah, I agree with you. I think that people shouldn't be worried about like showing their process and stuff. But in his defense, his style has gotten like quite like watered down and ripped off. Like pretty much everyone has like done something of that in that vein, like kind of an analog mixture of like type and image and things.
Yeah. And it was funny because I noticed the trend of works like his popping up started after he uploaded his tutorial of him doing, or like his streamed process of him doing it on the future on YouTube. Like as soon as it was public, like his process and how he actually does these cool like analog stuff, suddenly everyone starts doing analog stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get it. Like I've had my work, you know, people have appropriated my stuff.
Yours is so like obvious though. Like it's such you that you can't even like say it's influenced or anything. It'd just be like a
it's
copy.
funny. I didn't even think that I would notice it, and then I'm like, there's something about like a bold sans serif and primary colors that now anytime I see those, I'm like,
or justified type
like,
too.
Yeah, and I don't really care at all if people like take influence or copy my stuff. Like I don't see any. It's not doing me any harm as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I can see how it would. It's trying to get over that fear. I think. It's hard. It's like, Brady's saying, like when I find a good process, I'm evangelical about it. I'm excited to share it. Yeah, get diluted by limitations. Yeah,
I'm gonna have Roy on the podcast soon though. So thanks to you.
He's a great chat.
So I'll chat with him. I watched his Future one recently. Like it was just like the interview, and
with Chris with the wig.
Yeah.
Which I never understood why he had the wig on.
Yeah, it was weird. Like I don't know. He was probably like, "This will be like quirky," you know, or something.
Yeah. This is a little joke.
Yeah, but I'm excited because I always thought he was just like same with like when I talked about Harry, like the mystery. Like I thought he was just like some older like designer dude.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know he was so young and just like kind of grew himself all from that like everyday posting type thing.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating how it works. It's like you see, like he's streamed on Twitch before, right? He streamed COD mobile on Twitch before. Like I went on his Twitch account because I noticed he had a profile picture, and I was kind of like, "What's he been up to?" And it's like he's streamed COD. Like he's just a 20-year-old, 20-something, you know. Like it's funny how it can make people can kind of seem like, how Instagram can shift your perspective of someone. Like a lot of people think I'm American, for example,
really?
or that I'm from the UK, like all the time. They hear my voice, I always get a message request from someone saying like, "Wow, you're Australian? What the hell?"
Did you ever get a print from that they were going to dispose of at a museum from Harry Vincent?
I never managed to get it, so
he was like, ask him if he got it next time you talk to him.
Yeah. I've been trying to organize with the curator, but we've never been because our schedules like clash so much. And like there was this one window of time where we could have done it, but like I missed a message or something, and then it just didn't work out. But we're trying. It's gonna. I hope to get it eventually. I'll stick it up like right here or something. Just bang on the wall. And tear off the paint on my wall and ruin my lace.
When are you getting the new? Speaking of that, like when are you getting the new Casetify stuff? Is it already out or is it soon?
It's live.
Oh, it's live?
So it's live. It just they haven't I haven't made any of the ads yet for it. So I'm trying to make some ads that will then then they'll populate on my stories or whatever. And then I'm getting samples of them as well, which is great because currently I'm using a Marcelo Pisano case, which is a great case. Don't get me wrong, I love this case.
Yeah, I don't really like using my own stuff, so I'd probably do that too. I'd get someone else's.
Yeah. I don't like any of my cases except the collage ones, the new ones that I've made. To be honest, like
I remember you said it was random too. Like that was like your like sample one the first time or whatever, and they were like, "We want that one."
Yeah, exactly. It was so weird how it just did so well, that collage one. Like it's a bestseller for it was a bestseller for a few months, and that made helped me move out to this place, like Casefire alone. So yeah, I just need to kind of get back on the horse with it and just start promoting it hard because like I saw how my print sales did from when I wasn't posting about it to that one post I did that got like 15,000 likes of me holding my prints. And like
Yeah.
that month, like 10 times the amount that I'd usually made. And I
Uh-huh.
was like, why aren't I promoting this? Like Evermade's not promoted. They don't have the money to promote it. Hey, Roy's in
Oh,
the
there
chat.
he
There you
is.
go. Hey, Roy. So yeah, it's
We were
like
talking about you, I swear.
we were not talking about your COD mobile streams on your
Yeah.
Twitch that
COD
I
Mobile is
definitely
really
haven't stalked
cool.
your Twitch. It's really cool. I haven't stalked you, Roy. Um, but yeah, I think it's such a hard thing to promote your own work, and there's a big barrier for it. I'm sure a lot of people in the chat can understand.
Yeah.
It's like selling prints as well that I was very happy with the prints, but I was kind of like, oh, they're a bit expensive. Like I don't really want
That's
to
the
promote them because they're
worst. Like
yeah,
I
right.
hate
It's the
that.
price points and stuff. It makes you feel oddly weird about it. I'm like, even Casetify is quite expensive. They're expensive cases. They're great
Mhm.
quality. Don't get me wrong, but they are quite expensive because they're on demand printing for Casetify
I was
essentially.
talking with again with dude from Black Market, Keezy, and he was saying like, because he was asking me like, do you ever feel kind of like, how do you feel about promoting things or asking for money, like for example, like Patreon or donations or anything like that? And I was like,
Twitch subs.
yeah, it's hard, and like yeah, it's I don't like doing it, but I realized like everyone else is gonna do it. So if I don't and I try to
Yeah,
act like all like high and mighty about it, all I'm doing is doing a disservice to myself. Like the worst thing that can happen is someone seeing that wasn't going to do it anyway and being like, wow, what a dick or whatever. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like I remember I was on a call with someone from Patreon, who was
mm,
talking to me through like setting it up or whatever, and
yeah,
then she says like we've done the maths, like we've looked at how when things actually convert.
yeah,
And it's the 13th time of you telling your audience about
wow,
Patreon that people will finally sign up to your Patreon. And I'm
mm,
like, oh God, I've made a Patreon.
mm,
I've got one tier. I have like 5 people on it, and I hate it. Like I look at it and I'm like, this was why did I roll this out? Like I was not ready to do this.
yeah.
It's like $5 and you get a design from me. It's like what was the point of this? And then I look at some other people's like especially podcast Patreons that absolutely blow up. They're getting like $1,000 a
Hmm.
month.
Yeah, I'm working
And
on it. All right. Hopefully one
yeah,
day.
you can do the bonus episodes and all that. That's such an easy tactic I find. But yeah, it's like I'm kind of like because Twitch is kind of like Patreon, except Amazon takes half of your profit,
Twitch is
which is
so
a
much
very
more seamless too. Like the
yeah.
subculture of Twitch doesn't feel the same as like it feels like you're supposed to. Like you owe it to them or something after you watch it
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
while.
yeah. It's like if you don't have a badge next to your name, but everyone else does, you're like, oh,
And the
I,
Amazon one,
what
I
am I
mean,
doing?
it's like how much easier can they make it?
Yeah, legit.
Gmail needs to start offering like a free
Yeah,
like subscription or
honestly.
some kind of paid thing.
Yeah, we can come on, everyone in the chat. You can become a member. Have you got that set up? Do you know how
No,
to
I don't
distribute
have
that
like
and all that?
I haven't met the. I'm not in the club yet. I think it's like 30K subs or something crazy. Like
Oh,
it's pretty high.
that's very interesting. I had no idea
Yeah.
that was even a
But you
thing.
best believe it will be there once
Oh
once
yeah,
it's
no,
available.
definitely.
Yeah,
Well, it's
Pondo.
picked up. How have you
It is
found?
difficult for sure to push
Yeah.
out.
Oh, definitely. How have you found your growth recently? Because I've noticed your Instagram's popped off quite a bit. Is that
Good.
real?
Yeah. Oh, is it is it real? Is it reels?
Like
Yeah.
reels?
I thought you meant is it real? Nah, it's all bots from Russia. Yeah, it's reels, and also I think just it's finally starting to like cross promote or pollute or whatever. Like I've had some people come
Yeah.
from the YouTube and vice versa, because pretty much the entire first 6 months of my YouTube, I was relying solely on like trying to get people to go from Instagram, right? Now I've realized
Yeah.
there's a little bit more people that are native to like the YouTube app that I didn't even know about, and they'll comment or they've messaged me through like Twitter, like, oh, I found you here. And I found that like the reels though on Instagram, it's absurd. Like I talked about this with other people. I have some that have done good that I'm actually proud of, like me designing stuff and things like 20, 30K. But then that one I have that almost has 100K now is just me saying like, it's like best fonts of April that I like.
Yeah. Yeah. It's absurd how they're blowing up. Like they get it's like it's the secret, right?
Caroline's gotten like 3K subs or 3K followers from posting her like how I do my posters. It has like 300,000 views for real.
Oh my God. I need to get onto Reels. I was so against it, as an Instagram ambassador. I was so against it for so long. That's true, by the way, everyone. I'm an Instagram ambassador. I have a hat. Official. But like I hated it for a long time. It's because it's TikTok essentially. It still is. 100% is just TikTok. But like, I think it's in terms of me building my brand, it's essential. TikTok is essential as well. Like they're so good at kind of converting into Twitch as well, and I think I need to kind of get onto that. See you later, Nickelberry.
See you, Nickel, and Brady for sure. That's what I'm hoping. The longer I'm on here, the more the backlog will kind of get recommended. But yeah, the Reels thing, I agree. It's the same thing I talked about with like promoting Patreon. It's like no one else is gonna stop doing them, so all I'm doing is losing by not. And like everyone's just posting. I've seen probably 500 Reels that are how to do like ink bleed or whatever it is, or like some legit shit, and like everyone just repurposes it, and it gets like 100K views or easy like that, and it's like
I'm gonna post a Reel today. I'm gonna do it. I don't even care. I'm gonna give it a crack. I don't know what I'll post, but
one of my best ones is a repurposed TikTok that doesn't even have like the right audio, and it's just like, oh my God, it's like terrible.
Are you a business account on Instagram?
I think now, since they rolled it out like a year or two ago, I'm on like the creator one or whatever.
Account. Have you noticed you can't use any of the popular songs on Reels, or is that just an Australian thing?
Because I don't know. It might be Australian.
Royalty free.
What's popular though? What are you searching? Like, I don't really search like the top stuff. I just find songs that I like from like my Spotify.
For me, it's like any song on Spotify you can't use.
Oh, really? You're on like royalty free only kind of thing?
I'm literally on royalty free Reels.
Wow.
It is a royalty free disaster. Like there is nothing there. So you have to like record it through like, make edit in Premiere Pro and like upload that as a video just to get some sort of audio.
And then it says original sound.
Like TikTok's got captions now, which is amazing. And like Instagram Reels is still not there. Instagram in general still haven't managed to figure out how to bloody convert speech to text, which I feel like is the easiest thing
They're doing
ever.
too much. Like they're trying to keep up instead of refining the things that everyone already loves.
That people want, like, people have been wanting captions for ages on every single platform. And like only now TikTok is kind of, okay, Brady, I think I'm going to actually do this. There's a great clip. You probably might have seen it on the stream yesterday. I played it over and over again.
When you drop
showing off the food and then it just collapses. I might do that. I'll post on Twitter, TikTok. I'm gonna post on everything, even on Reddit.
Yeah, Reddit. It's funny, like they make all those memes where it's like Craigslist has stories now or something. Like everyone's just copying everyone. Like Twitter has like fleets or whatever. They have like their own clubhouse.
I got a notification someone posted a fleet. I was like, why am I getting a notification that someone has posted something to their fleets? Like I do not. Facebook stories. No one uses those in my friend circle, and it's just embarrassing how they all have them. It's like, you own Instagram. Just keep it to Instagram, Facebook. Like, keep Facebook separate. Just why? What's the point? But yeah,
I don't know. People are
designer direct. There you go. You can't use popular songs on my personal in Australia. It's an Australia thing. That sucks.
Damn.
That's really sad. Oh, going back to an old comment as well from Juby. The last VidCon AU, the industry pros are pushing IGTV as the next big thing. Instagram TV is the worst thing you can do for your page. I've got a friend who has like 300,000 followers on TikTok, right? He does like Aussie comedy. And I've noticed that he's like posting because like obviously he makes minute-long TikToks, but they're not going to make it on Reels because it's a 30-second thing. So instead of that, he posts them to IGTV. Instead of posting them to, just his regular 1 minute long video post, and they all bomb. Like, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why? No one watches Instagram TV.
It's like one of my friends. I told him like, cause he makes music and he makes cool TikToks about like like just making like a track, like kind of like a Mark Rebier like type thing, right?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, dude, put this on Reels, like, because I know you want to get your Instagram bigger. And then the first one, he does an IGTV, and I was like, dude, no,
Oh,
like that shit's gonna flop so hard, and it did.
oh,
And it's like,
yeah, it does. It has no potential once you make an
mhm.
IGTV. Nothing. Like
When do you
unless
plan
it's
on
like
dropping
a
the
4K.
what do you call it? The stickers and stuff. Like, is that just like an idea, or do you have like merch, kind of like a line sheet type thing, like your foot working
I've
on?
got drafts ready. So I've had some samples sent over from
Yeah.
like, but this is like a year, literally a year ago. I got them sent, and I know that they look good and they can actually work. But it's like more of a matter of just it's a price point thing. It's like they're gonna cost around $4.50 US, like probably middle ground. That's how much Lauren's selling them for. That's how much I kind of wanted to sell them for in Printful if I was gonna make any kind of money
What
from
was
it.
it you said?
$4.50 US for like one sticker. And I thought at first I
Yeah,
was
it's
kind of like,
fine. I mean, if
yeah.
it,
At first people were kind of messaging on when I was talking about it on one of the early Twitch streams, and they were like, "No, dude, no one's gonna buy your stickers at $4.50. Like, you got to sell them for like $3 maximum." And I'm like, I'm making 10 cents a sticker if I sell them at $3. Like the way it works, I don't have
yeah.
time to like get them shipped in, package them, send them out from Australia when most of my viewers are in the US.
Hmm.
And then I kind of just had a rethink where I'm like, no, like these aren't just stickers, like they're art. You know,
Right.
like it's not just a meme I'm not designer's humor. I'm not selling these cheap meme stickers,
It's
right?
not
Um,
designer's humor.
like yeah, like I put a lot of time into this and a lot of time into building the page and my kind of style and my voice. I should be
Yeah.
able to sell them at a higher price point. So that's kind of like where I'm moving my mindset into at least, which is good, and it means it'll kind of give me more passion. Ruby, I want to do them myself, but it's like it's all of my everyone who's gonna buy them is in the US. Like it's
So you're
just
gonna
I
start
know it's
posting
rad
more of
because
that online, right? You said like, because I was gonna ask you about how does it feel to, last time we talked, you hadn't broken the business card grid. You were, but now
yeah,
you've let
I
loose.
have. Full freedom. Yeah, it's funny. I think the novelty of it is kind of worn off already. I
Uh-huh.
made a business card post the other day. Yesterday I made a business card post again. I kind of miss it. But it was very freeing and I had so much inspiration for like 2 weeks. I was so excited to post something. They were all getting like 15,000 likes. They were all blowing up. I was doing animation for a little bit. Like I was
Yeah.
teaching myself all this new stuff. And then I think it was probably this new job that I got. As soon as that kind of started, I haven't had enough time and it kind of like let everything slack.
Yeah.
But it's still there and I definitely want to come back to all of it. But yeah,
It's funny because I
it's
remember
fun.
you saying something about last time we chatted, like it kind of is contrary to what we were saying about like post every day, but what you said was like the momentum thing is like
Yeah.
valid. Like once you,
Oh
it's
yeah.
not like, oh, post every day, but if something does well, don't like just try to like ride that high, like use that to propel like the other stuff in a way.
Yeah. It's so important if a post blows up that you have something ready for the next. Like
Yeah.
that will also that has like a good that's not like necessarily the most amazing like better than what you've just posted, but it's like solid enough that your new audience will get around it and will
Hmm.
continue that growth. That's definitely something that I noticed in I had a span of a week uh midway through last year, probably around this a year ago. Yeah, probably like a year ago today. It kind of popped off early May. Yeah, you know what? May last year I got 17,000 followers in a
Hmm.
month. It was the it was ridiculous how many followers I was getting that month, like 4,000 a week.
Yeah, that's wild.
Um,
Can't even like
and it
look
was,
at it at that point.
yeah, legit. And like I've never had anything close since then.
Hmm.
And there was momentum there, and then I took a big break in June of posting and kind of like lost all that momentum, and it took another 4 months to kind of
Yeah.
bring it back, I guess. And it's hard. It's like it is really hard to kind of keep on top of it because you feel the pressure only doubles
Yeah.
when you get it. But it's like I think it's less of a thing of like worrying about like I get 17,000 followers this month. I got to keep that number up. It's more like I should
Hmm.
have sold stickers then. I should have converted into some sort of
Yeah. Yeah.
meaningful stuff rather than actual like an arbitrary number, like followers.
Right.
Like, you know, I'm not making any money from Instagram. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm converting people, sure, but like Instagram has never paid me a cent.
It's
It's
just
not a
like
job.
it's almost like Instagram's just like a vessel to get people to
Yeah.
other places, you know, and albeit like, yeah, it's cool, but in my opinion, terrible, like in translating people to other places. Like it's so hard for me to get
yeah.
people to go through links and stuff like from Instagram because it's so like, it won't open up in the native app. It'll be all weird. They're like, I'm not signed in. I wanted to comment. I'm not signed in. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's terrible.
And I found it really interesting kind of looking at which platforms, like how important a follower is to each platform. And like on things like TikTok, for example, you can have probably
nothing.
a million followers is probably around 100K on Instagram. Like I would say that's
or like 50, honestly.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Like they're not, you know, it's very easy to follow someone on that, and I think it's a cheap follow almost because like most people are spending their time on the For You page, not on the following side of
Totally.
TikTok. So you're always on the explore page rather than your home feed, and that's kind of like an interesting thing to consider. But on something like Instagram, they're a bit harder to get, and you know, you're kind of like. People act, especially as a designer page, they're following you because they're inspired by they want your work as inspiration, so they're going to actively seek it out. And then YouTube, how much is a subscription worth? Like when the YouTube recommendation system is so strong at just getting you to look at any random thing rather than kind of what you've actually subscribed.
We were working on this thing at my job, and we were looking at influencers to hire, and we were realizing that, you know, a TikToker with 1 million followers, they can only charge like sub $100 for like an ad. If you have that on Instagram, like and you're like a fitness influencer or whatever, you can get like thousands for like an ad post. And YouTube, if you put it in a video and like use it or something, you can get like 5K or whatever if you have that reach.
I remember talking to Louis Moss about this, City Soda Club.
Yep.
About kind of when I was thinking about starting it up, and I had a few questions just to run in terms of like, when is it profitable? You know, like when is the work actually going to kind of pay off? And he's got like 10K subs.
Yeah.
And he was like, mate, I got like a laptop sent to me. Like I got and paid on top of that. Like the amount he's been making with only 10K just through sponsorships is so solid. Mm-hmm. I mean, he hasn't really posted in a while, which is a shame. But like Doran Studio,
I've been talking with him.
He's blowing up. Like.
Duran's like, I'm so proud of the way he's done that, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, like he's like, everyone wants to copy his style. I think that's why he got so much like all the people making clothes and stuff. But like, I just look at that and I'm like, damn, like all he did was like show someone what he's doing. Like his production was like just being honest, like whatever. He was just in his room.
Video production. Yeah.
And it's like, damn, like that's just how it is. Like when you have a style that people really want to see, like you don't need the like extra effort. You could go on there with your phone mic and just be like, this is how I do this, and boom, YouTube throws it everywhere.
And I think that's what's really cool about it, how people are really valuing authenticity on YouTube. And then like, you know, even on, hey, Burgundy Suede is here. Hello, Burgundy Suede. People like on Twitch as well, the top streamers, people like XQC, right? It's just him with a webcam in a corner. He doesn't even have a set scene in OBS. He changes the size.
Or like Critical or someone like that.
Yeah, they're just doing their thing, and it just kind of happens.
With the headphones hanging like AirPods, they're just like this.
Like pretty trash quality mic, like nothing really amazing in terms of production. Yeah. And people love that because it's just for them, and they really just care about them.
I want to see you to speak to what Pondo said right here. Is I feel like this would be true, right? You felt that the converting's easier once you get the swipe up, or not so much?
Oh, definitely. The swipe up is a massive help, especially for Twitch. Mm-hmm. The whole like, I was so happy when I came up with like, we've got 3 hours of a stream. When this countdown is ended, the stream's not going to be on anymore. Swipe up if it's on.
That was smart. I should have done that for this.
I get like 300 people swiping up on those, right? Yeah. And like, I'm like, there's potential. Every time I do that, I get like 20 new followers on Twitch. It's just more of a matter of
this is real, Gian. That's stick on.
It's all real ink.
Tattoos. That'd be pretty good though if I just revealed right now that it was all fake. I just got a baby wipe and started wiping all this stuff off. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that because I'm really excited for that 10K because not because of the optics of it or whatever, but just that swipe up functionality. That's like really one of the only milestones you want to hit to like.
It's the only milestone. that is it. It doesn't get any better. Like the feeling, like even just now thinking back to that feeling of like kind of blowing up around 5K, getting to 10K, like took a month. That was so fun. Like I loved that month and it was so exciting when I hit 10K. And then 50K was a grind. Like I hit 40 in May and then I took a big break and then it took me like 2 more months to get 50 and it was so slow and it was so painful and none of the posts were doing very well and it was kind of like it didn't really feel satisfying at all. And 100K was kind of the same. Like I remember going to sleep with 99.930, I think. And I did a Twitch stream that night with the counter live and I would cut to it and I was losing followers. Like I was actively losing followers because I had a post that bombed the day before.
Yeah.
And like I woke up with 100 and I was like, oh, there you go. And I haven't checked my followers since. Like I hardly check. I think I checked it once the other week and I noticed that there was one day in the past month that I lost followers. For the first time I lost more than I gained. I had the red dash on Social Blade, which is a massive, I was like, oh shit, like this is the first time this has ever happened.
I've been losing a lot, but I realized like in a good way, the net is positive and it's people that aren't like good ones to have anyway, Yeah.
I lose 100 a day, 100 to 200 a day, every single day.
Yeah, that's wild.
And like, I just need to gain 200 to 300 every day as well to kind of like keep myself happy, I guess.
Where do you?
Like I'm probably losing followers now, but I don't really care. Like I've got enough of a following already now that I'm kind of happy. Yeah, 10 to 20K is honestly the sweet spot as a graphic designer or as a creative on Instagram, I think. And yeah, micro influencers are huge.
What are you most curious to start learning like design wise? Because I see you making the kind of jokes about like Blender and Illustrator and stuff. Like, do you actually have any serious like endeavors when it comes to like getting into other stuff like that?
Oh, definitely. I'd love to learn 3D. I've had a lot of fun with it before. I've used Cinema 4D for a little bit, which is good. And I love After Effects. I've used it for hardly any time at all, but it's like I can see how much potential there is. Even just the idea of like a double-sided business card, right? You can flip a joke now if it's animated. And I think that's very exciting, especially for things like reels too. Like I might even upload an animated business card as a reel or something.
Right.
That probably won't do well. But like I definitely want to go there, and I like the idea of people kind of keeping up with that progress too and kind of documenting it, because I really like documenting my experience in general. And the jokes kind of get more dense as I learn more things about the industry. And yeah, it's kind of weird how I don't really know where I want to take it. And I've kind of feel like my content's been a bit stale for a solid 6 months. And yeah, I think it's just a matter of, I think it's like I got to turn it into more of like you look at those artist pages of 100K plus and you look at their content, they're posting every single day.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, they know exactly what they do. Like there's photos of them with their stuff. There's photos of new stuff. There's old stuff. And I'm like, why am I posting original content all the time? Why aren't I just recycling what I have? Like, why can't I do that? So I'm going to get into doing that. I don't care. Like I have to, like it's what will sell. And I need to start making money.
What's up, Keezy? Hope you're doing well.
Oh, Casey's here. Hello.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think as long as you turn it more into like a you/like business, and then you have more leeway to like experiment with like the motion and the 3D, because you already kind of broke the like idea of what is expected. I think it'll be good. And especially you already have the like, I wouldn't bet against you like just losing everything by like trying new stuff. I guarantee that everyone would just adapt, and like the people left.
Exactly.
Yeah, we will be, Roy. Like the last 30 minutes, I want to dedicate exclusively to trying to focus on the chat a lot, for sure.
Take some followers for the rest of us. Hey, come on. I got lucky.
Because like motion, especially, like you do simple motion things, the way it's perceived and the value that it has, even if it's easy, it already elevates it. In like 3D, I want to learn, and I know it's like not as hard as I think, but I know I'm gonna fall into like the rabbit hole, and like I've been joking with there was like a joke I had with Pork, like on his comments. Every time he posts a Blender thing, I'd be like, damn, I gotta learn. And he'd be like, has Jesse learned Blender yet? Like day 30 or whatever. Like we were just messing around because I haven't gotten to it yet, but I want to.
The fact that all these people like Jasmine and Pork have kind of started doing Blender during the 30 days of type.
Yeah, it's
like,
smart.
The fact that they're able to do it so well, so quickly, is like, I'm excited by it. Like I'm like I should just jump on. There's some amazing tutorials out there now, as well as kind of like the younger generation doing all this cool shit. Hey?
Besides the donut, like everyone does.
Yeah, besides the donut, honestly, like there's these kind of cool young designers are starting to make tutorials as well. People like Doran, right? Like doing these styles that are really admired, but no one really knows how to do.
Yeah. Or you know that intranet girl? Do you know who that is?
Yes. I was just trying to think of a name. Exactly what I've been looking for. Like I've wanted to do that style for so long, but there's no real tutorials on it.
Yeah.
And like that kind of stuff I'm very glad that that's being more accessible, because it's always been something I've just had no clue on where to even begin.
We were actually talking about this with Keezy right here. When we did the podcast that's coming out next week, we were talking about how back in the day, all the tutorials just felt like they were straight up like Adobe certified, like a guy that was just like pen tool basics, like 01.03 or whatever. And it's just like, what is this? And then he was saying something like the only guy that was relatable in like 2012 was this guy like smoking blunts and like just designing in Photoshop, bumping like Bay Area rap and shit. And I was like, that's interesting.
Trying to learn like basic animation stuff is still very Adobe certified, like Adobe.
Or the guy's voiceover is like a generated like Stephen Hawking sounding thing, and it's
2012 or something, and you're like, oh, awesome. But yeah, it's there's definitely a change coming, and I think people are also seeing the potential in YouTube as a career too, as a designer, and like as a kind of form of income. Because it pays. YouTube pays. If you get 10K subs plus, like it's gonna start paying. And if you're doing a consistent schedule, and even if you're doing it once every 2 weeks or something, it's gonna work out, like a Kel Lauren kind of vibe. Like you're not posting too often, but like when you do post, you get that sponsorship and you get like a whole bunch of views on it.
They've like, definitely gotten that where they don't even have. It's like they're waiting. You know, in a way.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's like that. And when they did a few lives last year, like 500 people jump on straight away, like no hesitation. Like the idea of them doing a live stream was enough just to get
that when I had them on, it was like the most views in the first whatever, like of all the podcasts I've done, like by a long shot, because I had that feeling that would happen, because it's not only the designers' quality of work, who they are like in the career space, it's the YouTube audience was already there. It wasn't like foreign to them to hear them on YouTube, you know? So it was like an easy like translation or whatever. With other people, like I've noticed some of the podcasts I have, people know more of the younger, like popular social media design people more than some of the like older, like whatever, like professional legends or whatever you want to call them, right? And it's weird to me, because being like in college, like all you do is like hear about, you know, like these people in books and stuff. You're not looking at like the people online, but the people online are the new, like they're the new age. Like that's what it's going to be about pretty much.
I wanted to ask you, by the way, because I've noticed how many guests that you've been getting of like top tier caliber. How have you found reaching out to these people? Because it's like you're getting some big fucking names. Like, are they taking it well? Or like they must be, right? Like are they just keen?
Oh, like just keen to are you saying like, do I have to like be like, come on? It hasn't really been like that at all.
Grappling and shit. Like, you know, you get this new guy.
Draplin, that one was like, that's kind of surreal. Like he was just, I emailed him like cold email, and he was like, you know what, Nyberg, like I'll do it. And I was like, all right, like have you heard of Discord? He was like, nope, send me the link. And I was like, holy shit. And that was cool. But the other people that are like someone like you, you know, and like more younger age, but like a big influence online, I found that I couldn't even imagine how accepting and like easygoing people would be. Like no one I've contacted has had any like negative response or anything, and everyone's like, yeah, like I love talking about design. There's one person I won't talk about. They didn't say no, but they wanted me to like pay them, and I was like, never mind. Like, and then someone else, I told someone about that, and they were like, well, that person better be better than Aaron Draplin because he went on for free. So it's like,
hey, yeah. Jack Churchill, you see, at uni the lectures are talking about Bauhaus legends and 90s pioneers, while every student talks about Elliot or stepping on a black man. I don't even know the legends of design. I know like Milton, that guy, or like
Glazer.
Paula Scher, like that's it. Like I have no idea. It's like my entire idea of what the industry is based off Instagram designers, and I'm so okay with that. Yeah. They're good people online. Like,
sometimes I feel like knowing the things in a way, if you're too into like the traditional and like the design that is banged into your head, like at university, like it is for me, it's almost at a certain extent crippling of like experimenting. Like it took me so long to be able to use justified type because like in college they were like left align, ragged right, or nothing, you know, like don't even fuck around with center
and all that. I just fucking commit to that. It's fun. It's like it makes it gives it some sort of purpose outside of just text on a screen. It makes it look, I love the idea of type as texture, like using a whole bunch of block of text as just a shape almost rather than the actual text. Like I don't care what it reads, I'll just write something like what I'm thinking at the time. It's more about like how it looks on the actual
and
page.
So contrary to like those original thinkings, it's all like form or function over form, you know, like don't put anything that isn't needed. But I like to I'm trying to live somewhere in the middle, because if you're too much that, it's like none of the younger people are going to give a fuck about you. And if you're too like crazy, you're not going to be able to get like jobs. So it's like, I don't know. We're really blurring the lines these days with the internet between like design and art more than ever before. It used to be design's clients, your design is art for someone else. Art's for like your self-expression. But with all the ways you can make money now and stuff without clients, design is way more art than it's ever been, I think.
I am self-taught, Casey. I am indeed.
Yeah.
That's why I use Photoshop for everything. I don't even know how to use Illustrator. I'm a disaster.
Because don't people actually like think you're 100% serious when you say that, and they're like, wow, like way to go, like try blowing that logo up, guy, or whatever.
I'm like, people are like, oh, well, if you're good at Photoshop, then good luck designing a logo for a client. I'm like, I don't do logos. Like, I turn down every single logo client that I have because I don't like them. Like, I just do Photoshop. Who cares? Like, it's not what I want to do. I don't want to do vectors because I don't think I have any need to do them. So
they're just like, they're in your comments like, you ever heard of InDesign, loser? Like, you're not going to get anywhere. And it's like Tyler 14, and he has like 40 followers, and he's like works at a print shop, and it's like, what are you doing, bro?
Exactly. Or usually it's like a parent sometimes, like someone who would have done design is like, it's very true, Casey. My style is so Illustrator.
Yeah.
Someone who uses Photoshop.
That's why I think it's kind of ironic. It adds to like your whole thing, though.
Charm. It's the fun of it, you know. I'm just honest. I figured at one point I was like, oh, I should probably not tell people that I do everything on Photoshop. And then I was like, it's a joke on its own. Like everything I do is a joke. That's funny. Like, let's commit to that. If people have an issue with it, I don't care. Like, I've got a big enough audience now that one negative comment doesn't piss me. I don't read comments anymore. I hate to say it. Like, I'll read the top ones, but like, it's gotten to the point where I had to turn comment notifications off.
You're like Joe Rogan now. You just post it and you leave.
It's true. I just don't care about my audience anymore. It's a tragedy. Your
audience, for how big you are, you probably have the most positive audience that exists in design or like in art.
Yeah.
Because there's no way like you could. I mean, people aren't like bullshitting you, but like for the most part, you can like do no wrong when it seems like with like most of your hardcore fans, because it's just like they feel like they know you. Like the Discord is same reason I've been trying to but my Discord up is because I realize how powerful that is, like actually chatting and not like, it's weird. Like people used to think like you got to act like you don't know them because it makes you seem like famous or something, but that's whack. Like I want to talk to everyone until I can't. When it gets crazy, like I'll still try, but I'd be lying if I said I can't respond to everyone still, you know? So I do.
Yeah. It's a tricky line between as well, just as something as I've noticed, and anyone out there who's thinking of content creation rather than just your traditional, because we're content creators, Jesse. Like, we're not necessarily just graphic designers. Like, that's when people ask me what I do, I'm like, well, I'm kind of a content creator. Like, I make Instagram posts and Twitch streams.
More than ever, too. This is my last week upcoming at my current job, so I'm freelance.
Yeah, right.
Freelance Jesse. Going.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's a great move. Freelance is very scary but very exciting. It's such a month to month kind of thing. But,
keep going though. I don't want you to forget that.
Sure. It's kind of like, so there's that whole thing of being secretive, right? And you kind of putting people off, and you know there are some people who really like that, I guess, and they're kind of like, you know, oh cool, I want to support this creator, like it's such a mystery or whatever. And then there's of course that being superhuman, jumping on Discord voice calls and like chatting with your audience and like messaging them outside of the stream and whatever. But what it kind of is like it's the treading the line of it's a parasocial relationship essentially. Like I know that I say this about people, like, you know, I've said this on my stream, like Miranda in the chat, right? Miranda in my chat is Mernda as a Twitch username, right? And I know Mernda, but I don't know Miranda. Like, Jack Cheshire, I know everything's Stu, but I don't. Well, I kind of do know. That's a different. I've actually met Jack.
He's at your house.
Yeah, legit, right? Like I know people by their username, and like that's how I know them, and that's how I only should know them. Like I should not progress past that, and that's an important line to kind of maintain. Because like the streams are going to be around forever. The streams are going to be around forever. Like the content I make isn't going to be around forever. Yeah. And like I need to very much just keep it at there needs to be a distance there between what you do and who you present yourself to be. And like I like to think I present myself at Elliot is a cool guy, but Elliot is a different person. Like I'm kind of it's an acting kind of thing, but I feel like Elliot is a cool guy is a character in a way. It's very similar to me. Don't get me wrong.
It's amplified, really, right? If anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you met me in person, it's a very different kind of thing, and I feel like I act differently around people who know of my page than around people who don't know of what I do.
I was gonna ask you that when you said you're working at like an office and stuff now. Does anyone is anyone like, oh, I like, are you like a like not celebrity but like an influencer there or anything like that?
So yeah, like people are talking because like since it's just an admin kind of thing. I mean, I've had a few instances where people have bumped. Like when I was buying my Apple Watch, the person was like, "You're a graphic designer, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "You're Elliot is a cool guy." Yeah, I am.
Famous.
I was there with my brother. We just laughed about it. But like, yeah, it's at this job. It was kind of like people asking, "What do you do outside of this?" Because it's a 6-week job. It's like, what do you do? Yeah. When this is over, and I was like, "Oh, I kind of run this Instagram page, I guess, like through my whole career." And one of the first questions people ask when you tell them that you run an Instagram page is, "How many followers do you have?" And I'm like,
they're like, "What?
1,000." Yeah, they're like, "I'm like, you can search it up."
And then they do the little bonk. Kind of, the tink, that's what happens.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I don't think it really changes their perception of me. I hope not. But it is weird when I'm very popular in a very small field, like in a very tiny portion of the world. I'm a influencer status of the design world, I guess. And that's a really weird kind of thing to consider. And yeah, it's kind of, I don't really know where I stand with it because it happened so quickly. It's like a year ago now I would have had about 30, but like, it feels like a year ago I had 10K and I was just this small little guy, but yeah. Oh man,
it's so meta in this, like from your people in here with this bald Elliot and
stuff. Bald Elliot, Wolf Elliot, all that stuff. Follow me on Twitch if you want to get the jokes, everyone. Subscribe to me on Twitch.
Or I just keep seeing the little exclamation point thing and I'm like, it's not gonna do shit. It's funny.
Yeah, no.
That's so true though. Like to someone, you're like in this specific type of design, or in graphic design, and then even more specific, like what you do, and then Twitch design, like some would say like you're the most there is, right? But then in the grand scheme of everything, it's like a normal person is probably going to not even know what like your page is. And that's weird because we live in like these echo chambers of like design and creativity and like these weird niches but I could go anywhere. And like, even if I had 500,000 followers, I guarantee like it wouldn't really be like I'm recognized as even an actor with like 100K or 50K, right? Like it's weird like that.
Yeah, it's like you're recognized for your name and your work, but you're not really recognized for your face as well. Like that's an interesting thing because like a lot of people don't know. I reckon out of the 100,000 who follow me, like 10,000 of them would know my face, maybe at best. Like I really think a lot of people just follow because of the work. They don't actually see the person behind it. And that's like it's an interesting thing. It's like I think it's a fascinating thing to consider the echo chamber of design on Instagram and of the online world, especially what has kind of come out of the black background era. Right, it started as this very much like if you posted on a black background, you were part of a community. Like it felt like that. Like I remember when I started, I was like, I am part of this like hashtag Fruits Art Club, hashtag Soda Magazine. Like this is the community, the black market community. Even like that was everyone would use that fucking free plastic sleeve poster texture with the tiny little cut on the paper that is so recognizable.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like it existed for so long, and it's kind of people have moved away from the black background kind of thing, and even moved into 3D. There's a lot of people moving into as NFTs have kind of come as well. People have been changing.
There you go. There's the buzzword. I was gonna
say the buzzword. We said it, everyone. We said it.
Literally, like since we last talked, you broke like your Instagram grid. Like NFTs basically took over the world, and you became Twitch partner. So it's like a lot of stuff has happened, even though it wasn't that long ago. I feel like we were chatting, and
because I was still here, wasn't I? We filmed the first one in this apartment. It's only been 5 months here. That's whack. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
And how do you, I guess, feel about the whole thing? I know you did a couple, and do you think you'll continue to mess with the NFTs? I feel like every day I see something, I feel differently about it. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I'm for now. I'm out. I think the main thing was it was just causing me too much stress, and like it wasn't even the fact that I would make a post promoting it and someone would say like you're cutting down trees or whatever by doing this. Like I did the research, I knew the true environmental impact. Like I was very much aware of both sides of it all. What kind of put me off it was more the community around it, I think, and I felt very out of place. And I went through the other day and I unfollowed everyone on Twitter that I had anything to do with crypto, pretty much, right?
That's my whole thing now. It's fucked.
Yeah, I got rid of it all, and I feel so much better about myself, like because I was making them, and I kind of realized that I was only making them for the money rather than the actual. I'm not a true believer in the future of them, and I think you really have to be if you want to commit to it. Like I can see it,
especially the collectors that are dropping fucking racks on some of those punks and stuff like that.
And it's like, sure, if you've got, if you've been an early onboarder for crypto, then you're probably going to be like dropping all this money because you've made so much fucking money. If you
they're buying it when it was like $2 for one Ethereum. So
legit. And those are the big people, like, and that's fine, and like go for it. I bought a few pieces myself. It feels nice to support other people. But in terms of like actually putting in the effort to plug your work, and also the fact that like I see my work as something that I want a lot of people to have rather than just one. And as much as you can do the additions, things like that, I know that the audience who will be buying them, they're not like from my page.
Right.
My audience aren't the people who are going to be
looking
buying
at you like you're like a stock, right? They're seeing that you have a lot of followers, so they're like, I don't even know if I like this, but 104,000 followers, that might be good in the future of like Ethereum market or whatever, right? And they're just like,
resell it for something. Exactly. So I kind of, I had fun with it. It was a good month. I made a bit of money. Then I bought a whole bunch of NFTs, and I kind of no longer have that money because I'm waiting to resell it. But they all have gone downhill really quickly, all the kind of collectible stuff. I missed the train on a lot of them, but it's like it's weird. I'm still got like my crypto investments, I guess, that I'll keep in there long term from my original sales from back in December when the Foundation version 1 was happening. And like, I'm still very much interested in crypto and kind of seeing how it will progress. And I find the whole thing very fascinating, and I'm very interested in it. But I don't want to make my art I don't want to get involved with how I don't want my creativity to be affected by it, and I think it was. I really took a step back from my page and from Twitch to focus on NFTs for a little bit.
Yeah, I always feel like I feel like with you where I do believe in crypto, but I don't know how much I believe in NFT as much as other people I know. But I keep having the whole like, I don't know why I can't think of the word. It's not imposter syndrome. It's like the feeling where you feel like you're gonna get left out of something. I don't know why I can't think of it. Yeah, FOMO. There we go.
Oh yeah, big time.
I pretty much just described it, but yeah.
It's built on FOMO, literally. Like it feels. That's the only reason I got in, because I felt like I was going to be missing out on this next big thing. Yeah, and I kind of did. But like,
I was like, what's a fear of missing out? What's that thing? I guess it's as easy as that, the acronym. But I don't know why I couldn't think of that. But yeah, I kept like, and I felt like same with you. Like I just minted some stuff that like I already had. The only thing I'm somewhat proud of is like the little just like spinning smiley face coin I made, just because I made it for like the minimum, and I think that's what's cool. There's 100 of them, and I was like, let's just whatever, see what happens. And like a few of them have been bought, so that's cool. But like I don't know, like some people I see and I'm just like, holy shit, like you better handle this well, because you're potentially set for life unless you are dumb and do something crazy where you're like, no, Ethereum forever, and you like never cash any of it out. Then you're fucked.
And I think like a lot of people are just cashing out immediately as well, which kind of shows that they're not really too confident in the whole thing too, which I find interesting. But FN NFT stands for FOMO, literally like 100%, like guaranteed. But yeah, it's like you see these people who have built their careers off of it, and I know that there was potential for me to build a whole career off it and make a lot of money from it if I kind of promoted it in the right way and made a collectible series of cards. But every time I kind of thought about it for too long, it just stressed me out, and it would make me feel so anxious when I made something and then it would bomb. Hello, Steph. But yeah, it's like. It's hard. It's a very hard thing to kind of, and a lot of people on Twitter being like,
the promoting is hard too.
Like, waiting for that first bid and then hopefully everything will be okay.
Man, I did it too. Like I really, it made, from the outside looking in, you look into this community for 1 second, you're like, wow, everyone's really like plugging and like desperate-y. But then I realized if you don't post like 10 times about the same thing, like it's like what you said about it takes 13 times or whatever. The NFTs, I feel like it took me like 50, and I was just, my Twitter it just got ruined by like me being like, looking for, here's my Genesis piece, like trying to get
Genesis piece. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's
Genesis animated piece. Here it is, my Genesis 3D piece. Like it's such a hard thing to do, and I think that kind of got to me where I was like, why am I promoting this so hard? Like, it's because I want it to sell. It's not because I actually appreciate the work that I've made.
It's a good point.
The one that sold for me, the one that actually made significant, like, 1+ Ethereum kind of money, were what the fuck is an NFT? Like, that was the kind of joke.
And that at least held true to like you in a way of doing it,
Definitely. And I kind of, I have nothing else. Like that was I was certain as soon as I came up with that, which is the first idea I had for an NFT, that was the best idea that I would have, and I had nothing left in the tank. And scared of not selling and feeling like a bad artist. Exactly, Jess. It is that exact thing. I felt ashamed to post about it for some reason as well. I was like, who am I trying to get to buy this? Like the guy who bought my second one, Bob Dub, which is the account. That guy's bought like 100 NFTs.
Right.
And I'm like, do you really care about my work? Or did you just think it was funny? And you kind of just
I'm not saying no for sure. Like, I'm sure he liked it, but he's buying hella shit. It's like, and it's the same way that like Post Malone's like, hey, just made a music video NFT or whatever. Like, we're partnered with Sprite and we're selling it for like 50 Ethereum. And it's like featuring like Billie Eilish,
Yeah.
and it's just like they got everyone, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna fucking make like so much money right now." Or like Ellen with her like doodle drawing that like she made like a cat drawing, and
Yeah,
I was like, "This sucks so bad."
Paris Hilton and her whole series, like
Yeah, now
you're the Hilton.
she's a legend all of a sudden, like in the community.
Oh, the way people idolize Elon Musk, they idolize Paris Hilton, like these billionaires, like people with a ridiculous amount of money, who are like helping the artist by like getting involved and investing all this money into it. I'm like, then why couldn't they have done this before NFTs? Like, why couldn't they have helped you? They didn't care about you until
Yeah.
they saw profit.
They weren't
for
buying
themselves.
your
Like,
printful.
yeah, no. Like they do not care about your art. They are in it like to make more money,
Yeah.
and that is why they are doing it. And it's I think any of the ones that were just like, even like people's way of idolizing Elon Musk pisses me off. Like the way that that people are making these gods out of these crypto billionaires. And like the people who invented it, and wow, we're all making so much money thanks to these people.
Satoshi and all that shit.
Yeah, it's like it's not going to change your life as much as like but I definitely still think that there is potential for it, and I think like artists, the idea that these smaller artists are making money, especially, and the way it converts as well as a currency, in like I'm hearing people from some countries being like, this is absolutely life changing, like and the way Ethereum as crypto kind of converts into
Latin America and a lot of other like places in Asia and India. One Ethereum is like some people's years of salary, not even just 1 year.
And I'm all for that. It's the side where it's like these more people who are kind of chilling. They're kind of I don't know how to explain it, but it's like the way they talk about like, please buy my, like, I just hope once I get the first bid that things will, that I'll actually feel good about my work as an artist and stuff. And I'm like, you were doing fine before NFTs. Like,
yeah, it created a problem that didn't exist pretty much. Unless you do well, it just made you insecure, if anything.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
and like I didn't like the people that were like, some people were saying like, goodbye, like clients, never again. And it's like, then you're not even a designer anymore. You're just gonna make NFTs your whole life and never work on real life things. It's like, why would you even want that? I love working with clients. I don't like it at the same time, but it's also like the best because it's like you do things you wouldn't just make up on your own, Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's I'm so open about it still. I definitely haven't shut it off, and I'm still very much interested in the thing. And I think there's definitely some good in it for some pockets of the kind of world of it. But it's like it's definitely the Twitter community of like some certain designers that I followed, and the way that they've kind of been acting about it, and like being like, if you want to sell, like they're like, please buy my thing, buy it, please. Like, I just want my first bid. And then they sell one, and then they go, I finally get it. It wasn't about the money. It was about the community. About like you were asking for like one bid, and then they drop their price over and over again just so they can sell their first one.
Yeah.
And I'm just, it's like, it's the community. Like, they just changed my life. Good morning, NFT fam. Like, how's everyone doing today? Like,
yeah.
Let's
like, say hi. They're like, good morning to our queen Paris and our king Elon Musk. It's just like, and don't forget the egg dude. Like, they're just,
I get a follow from a verified tick. I'm like, why are they following me? And then I'm like, they have a verified tick. They got NFT artists in the thing. I'm like, oh, awesome. You're like just following every single person related to NFTs on there. Like, you don't actually care about my work. It's like,
so a couple things I want to ask you. It's 7:30, so I want to get into getting a little more active in chat. But right before that, I wanted to ask you. So congrats again. I know it's been a while now, but you got the Twitch partner, so that's cool. I know it was a hard, like a grind for sure. Even though I thought you were doing well, and it still was a grind. So I noticed, kind of a double question, I guess. What do you have planned coming up? And I've also noticed that you've been a lot more like, oh, I can just do whatever I want now. Like, it feels like you're like, oh, like now I can just play Portal if I want. And that's cool.
Yeah.
Have you liked that a lot more? It's less stressful.
It's definitely a lot less stressful, which is nice. And I'm also getting I sent an email to Twitch because they offered when you get partner, they're like, oh, if you want to be on a front page rotation, then just send us an email with a bio of your account and we'll chuck you on the front page whenever there's a spot.
Mm-hmm.
And like every time I stream now, since my daytime slot is not very popular at all, I'm on the front page and I'm getting like 100+ viewers.
Nice.
And a lot of them are from the front page and I'm getting that discoverability that I think Twitch lacks. So it's funny, you get to the highest achievement possible on Twitch, which is partner, and then you finally get to be discovered. And it's
that's
an
how they
absolute
do
grind.
it.
Oh yeah,
you're a 1%er. No.
Yeah, legit. But it's like, that's fun, and I like that. But I think it's interesting how what you change from thinking, because I kind of thought, oh, I'd be fine, like I just keep growing. But what you start thinking less about is the view count and more about your subscriber count and how you can actually turn it into a job. And my subs have been going down since I hit partner. Like in terms of gifted subs, they've been going up. I've had a few good months, but like in terms of actual, ridiculous,
it's crazy.
Totally grateful. But like in terms of the actual subs that I've been, like people who I've known, you notice on the Discord, like they'll no longer have that yellow name in my Discord, and I'm like, I wonder what made this person unsubscribe. And it's probably because like I've stopped focusing on the European side of it, and I haven't done a night stream in a
or
month
they stopped paying for Amazon.
Yeah, and there's so many reasons, and I think it's like, even though you can get to Twitch partner, like I remember reading a stat about it from a Twitch talk that I went to on Zoom, and it was like they said that I think 50% or like 70% of Twitch partners average 30 viewers or less, or something like that. Like the amount of people who sit under that amount is they kind of peak and then they drop. Yeah. They'll peak and they'll have a really solid few months and they'll blow up, and then they kind of either take a break or their content slows down.
But then there's people like the XQC, Pokimane, like their average is like what, 5 figures, right? Always, pretty much.
And it's like it's interesting seeing people talk about it as well, how there's a stage before you hit partner where people are really keen to support you and they want to help you out. And then they think you're partner and they think you're fine. Like you're probably getting paid by Twitch or something. And then you end up making less money than you did before partner.
Yeah.
And then it takes getting like 500 viewers average before it actually comes back. Like the kind of these big money people are coming in and like dropping all this stuff.
Because you're not a little guy no more. Like they're not championing for you to get to the finish line anymore. You're like you're a big wig now. You made it. You know.
Exactly. So I'm trying to kind of like reconsider how I think about it and more just focus on, I think, just experimenting with what I do and making sure it's always fun for me, because sometimes it's not fun. Like I don't know. Sometimes you have a quiet audience, and I really struggle when not many people are chatting or giving stuff to bounce back on. And I think usually the reason they're not chatting is because I'm not doing anything too interesting and I haven't prepared anything. So when I actually take time out, like I remember doing a design chef the other week, the last design chef I did before getting the job and kind of taking a bit of time off doing chef. I put so much time into that one. I had like 7 bits of surprise things to include.
Was it the distraction thing?
It was the distraction one.
That was fun.
120 views the entire time. It was an amazing stream, and I had so much fun.
That beat, though.
And yeah, and it's like I put all this effort into it, and that's why it was so rewarding. And I think the more I kind of get back into that, the better it is. To answer Casey's question, by the way, what do I make most of my money? Twitch, it's probably IG, because of the conversions into like Casetify sales, print sales, and client work. Twitch isn't too much of. I'm not making too much right now. And to answer Pondo's question, do you feel like Twitch affiliate is too easy to get? I feel like the gap between affiliate and partner is too major.
Yeah.
That grind probably kills. Yeah. So I think a lot. No, definitely. It is. Like if you have some sort of audience on another platform, if you're starting from fresh on Twitch, good luck hitting 3 viewers. Like, fuck, that is hard to get like a.
I have affiliate and I don't even use it. I've streamed. I used to stream like Fortnite and just fucking around, and I got affiliate that way.
If you have some sort of audience outside of Twitch, like you'll probably get enough viewers, but like it's very hard when you're starting from fresh. And people have been kind of suggesting a middle tier, like you got affiliate, then something else, and then partner.
They should.
But like it's really it's tricky because it's like kind of what does partner do apart from giving yourself. I mean, there's a thing with partner where you can have more emotes, right? Depending on the subscribers that you have, and I kind of don't understand why you have to be a partner to have that. Like, if you have 200 subs on Twitch, you can get 12 emotes. I think 12 rather than the 5 that an affiliate caps out at. And I'm kind of like, why can't an affiliate have 12 emotes? Like, that's a huge thing for community emotes. Like, people love that about a bigger streamer, that they can have like all these fun little emote kind of stuff. Elliot Subathon, where he does 36 days of time. I've actually got a month prepared soon, which will be like going through every single program that I can possibly use, like Photoshop, InDesign, PowerPoint, Word, Paint, Canva, Figma. I want to do a whole month where I go through every single one. That'll be when this job is kind of done. But like, yeah, to hit it, it's like, yeah, legit. And,
for sure.
And there are bots who watch every single stream as well. Like, there's one called Another Twitch TV Viewer who is on every single stream. That's a view.
Funny.
Like, that's done, you know.
Speaking of getting those average things up, I've seen the chat in here fluctuate a little bit, and I saw Designer Direct do a nice little shout out, but drop a like in there if you haven't. We're 96 minutes in. It's about time for that. And feel free to smash it, ring the bell, fill up your water, drink your water, do whatever you got to do. And also, this is right now pretty much open, like focus a lot more on that. I've kind of went through all I wanted to ask Elliot about. So if you have any questions, for sure, throw them out for me or Elliot, whatever, and we'll get to them at a lot more attentive base. And do you have maybe you can throw on like a little filter for a sec or something? I'm going to switch out my battery.
Yeah, go switch out your battery. I'll entertain. What can I do for you all? It's annoying because none of you will be able to hear but yeah, if you don't know, this is how you get all this cool stuff, everyone. You get all the cool things for the viewers. I'll plug. Yeah. Graphic design on Twitch is an interesting thing, and I think more people should do it. So if you're out there and you don't know how to do it, trust me, the amount of people who will jump in your chat and say, "Hey, nice overlays. Your stuff looks cool." You'll get a lot of those kind of people. So if you've ever wanted to do graphic design, you can get an audience just by having your stream look cool. So yeah, that's what I can recommend. Did you hide the Twitch cap in your background? The Twitch cap is currently on top of my lamp. It is used on the lamp. That is it. Yeah, I got transitions and everything. Where's the chat? There's no chat in here, but we can also do stuff like, now I'm off the screen, but like,
shout out Online Ceramics real quick.
Yeah, shout out to Online Ceramics. Hello to everyone out there. How cool is that?
There it is. So it looks like Roy, he was waiting to ask his question, so I would for sure see.
I know Elliot is not formally trained or educated in design, typography, color, and all that. Where does he attribute his eye and understanding of time, visual composition, special relationships? He's a better grasp of these things than most BFI students have seen, so I'm curious if he's any thoughts.
Wow.
Great question. Great question. I think I don't know. I feel like I've got an artistic family, I guess. Kind of my nonna was a art teacher, which might be something to do with it.
But I think for designer's humor.
Yeah, honestly, she owns designer's humor. My 80-plus-year-old nonna is in charge of that page. It shows. Yeah, I think it's like I feel like an eye for design is definitely a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if you just absorb a lot of it, I've always been a good copier. This is an interesting thing. I've always been good at, like, whenever I would draw as a kid, I would get Pokemon cards and I would just draw I would copy it, and I was so fucking good at copying. Like, I couldn't do freehand stuff. I couldn't create my own characters or anything, but I was so good at just copying, like, what I would see. And I think that really helped in terms of learning graphic design, because it starts with you just copying other people's stuff to learn your own kind of thing, and you're just taking inspiration from a whole bunch of stuff and making something new out of it. And I think that's where it came from. I'm just very good at, like, impressions of other people's work, and I think it kind of came out of that. I feel like I've got a good way of absorbing things. That's what
Elliot equals prodigy. Confirmed.
That's it.
Okay, what are your? It looks like Keezy's. What are your favorite type of beans?
Great question, Keezy. Jelly beans. Get out of here with any of those boring regular beans. Probably kidney beans. They're quite nice.
So I've been trying to Twitch stream and I do illustrations. I feel like it's not engaging at all. It's actually disruptive sometimes. So I'm trying to find out better engage with chat. Do you have any suggestions? I think he has a lot because I feel the same way when I've tried to do it. I think it's your acting background that's benefited you in like making it like a show more than like I'm just designing.
Because I want it to be a show, I guess. Because I'm like, part of me thinks, when I kind of got into it, I was like, okay, graphic design. What is interesting about watching someone do graphic design? And for me, I know a lot of people just like watching people design, but for me, I'm more invested in like the theater of it all. Right. And I'm like, I personally wouldn't really want to watch someone do just standard design. I know there's a huge audience for it, but me personally, not really too interested. So I was like, I want to keep people engaged and keep people chatting. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that I feel like ruins a stream is when when everyone is suggesting things. So I usually ask like, does anyone have any idea for a job? A lot of people will give ideas and it's great, but if I can't decide on one and people just keep suggesting, then we're kind of getting nowhere and people feel like they're not being heard as well because I'm not using their suggestions. So I think it's very important to kind of keep the interaction between you and the chat to more like, what are you guys working on and stuff like that, rather than what do you guys think I could do for this design? Because once someone says a suggestion and they think it's a really good suggestion and you don't use it, then I feel like it kind of loses that connection between you and the viewer. So it's more of like you putting an interest into their lives and more like, what's everyone working on today? Anyone got any funny stories about like clients or something? And people will have them 100%.
Yeah.
And more engaging, like having that kind of engaging conversation rather than just like, look at the work I'm doing. Any tips? Anyone got any ideas?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a kind of interesting thing to consider. And I also think just having little things like making them fuck with you, to be honest, is a big one. Being open to just having them mess around and distract you, I think can be quite funny. I do a thing where I have a speed run. So you can redeem it for a certain amount of channel points on Twitch. In 2 minutes, I have to design whatever you say. And at the end of it, it will take a screenshot and it will send it to the Discord. And it saves it as like a kind of it says it in the caption of the Discord. It says, blame this person for making me do this.
So is it it's all working now too? It's all good?
It's all working. I fixed it all. Yeah, so thankfully. But like that's a fun little thing I can have with the chat. Like I can make a little design for someone and they can feel like they were part of the stream, I guess. And I think that's a really important thing, having that kind of allowing them to control it in some way or another, whether that be through bits or donations or just from rewarding them from watching for a long time as well.
Yeah.
If you watch my stream for a certain amount of time, you get 15,000 channel points, which is a fucking lot of channel points to save up when there's other things you can do as well. You get a design from me, and I might not get to it for a few months, but you actually get a nice business card that you can kind of keep. So, yeah, I think that's what I would kind of suggest in terms of getting into streaming. I'm also going to start a stream team on Twitch for graphic designers and people who in the kind of graphic design side of Instagram who all come from there. Hopefully we can all grow together because it's kind of like, unless you have like a lot of followers like I do on Instagram to convert, it can be really hard to get started and kind of hard to just keep them coming as well. That's a big thing. They'll check it out, but will they stay for the 3 hours? Will they keep it going? Mm-hmm. And also, and my final point, I love talking about this because I really want more people to do design on Twitch, is that plan your stream. Don't just jump on and do a 5-hour long design. We're just going to do some designing today, right? Like at the start, do you have any stories? Do you have any YouTube videos, some funny thing you want to show off? Do you have any cool fonts that you've been looking at that you really want to show everyone? Do you have any cool posts on your Instagram that you've saved that you want to show anyone? Have that kind of intro section where you can just chat, have that one-to-one, and then get into the designing. What are we designing today? Is this for Instagram? Is this for shirt? Is this for stickers? What are we working on? Is there going to be like some sort of real consequences of this? Are you in the chat helping support the stream or work on something that will affect their life? And then close it out and kind of like take it to the Discord as well. So like you're really trying to build a community and really trying to feel like this is a place that people can go to when they just want to hang out and do some work as well. I think,
That's a good point. I was watching, Cheers Jack. I tuned in for a little to his. He did the Adobe thing. So he was with the guy like Nick Longo. He's like he has that podcast, and he's like a educator out here in SoCal, and he's kind of moderating it and like kind of interviewing Jack while he's going through this process, and he's saying things like what you said is a bad idea. Like, what do you guys think we should name this label? And everyone's saying like, name it this. And I don't think they went with anything even close to anyone's suggestion for color naming or anything, because it looked like Jack had that planned out in a way. And it was like, what am I supposed to just name it whatever someone says? And then the other people are going to feel disappointed, right?
Because it's like, instead of that, if you ask like, has anyone like, oh my God, like if you're talking about client issues, for example, has anyone had this happen to them before? And someone can come up and chat and say that this has happened. Here's my funny story. Yeah. Then you can talk about it. It's going to be funny because it's probably like a classic thing that we can all relate to. And you can bring it up and be like, same. Like, I have felt the exact same thing. Like, this has happened to me as well. We can all feel like even though I'm the one on the screen, I'm the one with the more followers or whatever, we've gone through the same shit, essentially, as designers. And that's a nice point of relatability. It grounds it, I think, as well.
And answers really everyone at once, almost, rather than like having to be like, oh, hopefully I didn't miss anything. Like, hey this, hey this, and like trying to, because if even in your chat, if you really tried, you do a pretty good job, but if you really tried to acknowledge everything, you would just be just chatting for sure. You have a pretty active really chat. You're
get me distracted.
Your amount of viewers to chat, like activeness, I think is a really high like percentage. Like I've been in other 100, 200 viewer chats, and it's not nearly as active as some of yours.
That's good. I try. You can usually tell when I start playing marbles as to how many real people are actually like watching. And it's like, if I get 50 plus or something, that's like a dense chat. Like that's hard to keep up with.
Right.
So yeah, I really like that. Yeah.
So it looks like, do you feel like it's easier to get followed on Twitch because of your accent?
Oh, not at all. I hope not. I mean, look, I'm like a bloody Aussie, fairly attractive white guy just doing some graphic designing. So I guess it is kind of easier to have that relatability or like friendliness, or I don't know, something about the accent maybe. But like, I hope it comes out of more of like, the look of it all, and kind of all the random shit that I do. Like, this old friend and all this, like pulling this out. Not many people are going to be like, what? A lot of people are going to be like, when have I seen this before? So yeah, it's a bit of fun. We got a marbles game in the chat. Love to see it.
Yeah, the exclamation part play. I really exclamation point. I really you make a lot of good points. Like, even these questions are great because I've talked to you a little bit about it. I've talked to others, and others have asked me like, what do you want to start doing, like ever, like design streaming? And I kept thinking about it, and it's like, first of all, I think that there's a lot of processes in some of my design that have a lot of dead air that I don't think would be interesting to watch, right? Manipulating really small things of like type in, it's like boring, right? And I don't know if I would have the performance aspect of like what you'll be doing when you have these crazy things planned out. But I guess what I'm saying is it really does seem like you have to have a plan. You have to have it very branded, and you have to definitely not just throw up on IG like, yo, I'm up, like I'm here. Like you really want to like do like almost like a rollout every time you go on stream.
It's like Design Chef, when Design Chef is happening, that is a half an hour of chatting at the start, an hour and a half of designing, an hour of reviewing. And it's like, I plot it out like that. And there's an incentive for the people to join in and watch and to actually participate. And to get their work seen in front of an audience as well of designers. And then also like a potential reward of a VIP badge in the chat. Like I find it's the perfect structure of a stream. But yeah, it's like, I think to anyone who thinks that they can't really, like they feel like they lack that performance side. My first streams that I did were just me chatting in front of a like of my work, just chatting about Instagram and like evaluating other people's Instagram accounts, and it was super low key, super chill. Um, it wasn't until like 3 months in that I actually started singing, and then things kind of changed. Like it was once the songs kind of uh showed up, then I think everyone kind of like that was the stream, that was where it was going to
Yeah.
go, and I think people were like, "Wow, this is fun." And I remember the first time I did the song, I did it 4 times in the one stream because people loved it that
The
much,
design
and it was
chef
just so
one?
much fun. No, no, like the welcome to the stream, the
Oh yeah, yeah.
welcome to
Man,
the
you
stream.
really clip with that one. Sometimes I'm listening and I forget I
Oh,
have it on the other tab and it's like, dude, and I pull my
it's
headphones
so
open. I'm
much.
like, holy shit.
I need to fix my audio. It gets loud.
Hmm.
Gets I scream. I have neighbors. Like I should be cautious. But yeah, it's like it's you get really comfortable with an audience, and you got to remember after a month or two, it's going to be the same people coming back, and you're going to know these people, and
Hmm.
you're going to want to impress them, and you're going to want to have a good time with them. And it's no longer like you're not just going to be doing streams to randoms every single time. Like the way Twitch works is you're going to have an audience of people who know you and you know them, and that's your inner
Right.
circle. And then it's slowly going to get bigger. You might get one or two new people every stream if you're just starting out. And but that's fun. Like it's a group of it's like a little friend group at times, and it's kind of it's nice. Um, I'm
Yeah,
glad my
I feel
accent's
that,
easy.
Pondo. I feel that way sometimes, and I've been definitely trying to work on the articulation and trying to you really have
Mm,
to have a different way of talking into a mic than you would like mic technique or whatever they call it. Like it really is a thing because if I just talked without putting any effort at all into like enunciating, it'd just be like kind of a flat line thing. Like how you said your normal Elliot, like not on stream or whatever, like Jesse not on the internet is very like uninterested in most things and very monotone, you know. So I really had to push it up if I want to
yeah.
get that out of people.
Mm. Thanks so much to the follows in my Twitch, by the way, to Ian Sucks, Mech XZ, Brent is cracked, and Big Kahuna 5 that all followed during the time of the live stream. So might be from here. Very
Nice.
appreciate it.
I
Consider
had I thought
subscribing.
I had alerts for the subs and stuff on here, but I don't think they worked right, so I'm not sure. Or I
I see
didn't
you've got
get
the
any.
Streamlabs tip down the bottom. You got any tips? Any tips that didn't get to show up?
Let's see.
It's bloody hard to get people to actually commit to especially with YouTube. I'm very this live stream experience is very interesting in comparison to Twitch. I find. I feel like Twitch is just it's made for I guess they specialize in live streaming, so it's going to
Right.
be as fine tuned as possible. But this one still works quite nicely. I've just noticed in the bigger streams when they have their custom emotes and stuff as well, it's kind of like, oh, it's like it's Twitch, but it's not. You know,
Yeah. I
it's
felt
interesting.
like I just really think that as building a when you're building a following somewhere, like I don't think I have the numbers to start like distributing it all these places quite yet, you know. I wanted to
Yeah.
kind of keep it at home base on YouTube at least for now. If you guys think really like Twitch is like leaps and beyond like a better platform for anything like this, then well, I'll consider it.
Yeah. Thanks for the follow, Ian. Much appreciated. Um, but yeah, like Jess is saying, been wanting to start streaming, just scared of my face. It's a big thing to put your face on stream as well. That's a huge thing. So I
Hmm.
would also recommend Instagram is a great tool, and the Instagram live streaming feature is a great tool. This is a thing I forgot to mention this when I was talking about it before. So I started streaming on Twitch after I had so much fun streaming on Instagram Live and just like getting on
Really?
Instagram Live and seeing who was there because I noticed that the people who are actually going to chat on your Instagram Live are the ones who care about your content, right? That's a big thing to chat on a random graphic designer's
For
Instagram
sure.
Live, yeah? And like to actually contribute to something. So when you kind of start it on Instagram and you build up an audience and then you go, yeah, I think I'm going to start doing it on Twitch. And everyone's like, yeah, do it on Twitch, do it on Twitch. They're going to be the ones who jump over and they're going to be your first followers. They're going to be your first subs. So I think to anyone who's considering streaming on Twitch, if you have an audience on Instagram that exists, start on Instagram, build that audience, talk to people, mention their names, go on for like an hour, do a Q&A, do like you got that sick question feature, like really engage with the people there and they'll
Yeah.
want to come over to your Twitch. They'll want more. Um, so yeah,
How do you
Insta Live is
feel How do you feel about non? designers doing non-design live streaming. For example, that was kind of one of the main ideas behind this. Is I thought I'd rather do this. I thought it would be more fun, but I've always considered doing Twitch, for example, like just other things like gaming or like building like models and shit, and like having a different cam. And I always wondered, like, do you think that it's already hard enough to convert to the niche you're in, that it would be like really hard to get anyone to go on there?
It'd definitely be really, really hard. But I think the easiest way, once again, is to get people who want to watch you do. There are a group of people on my stream who will watch me, play bloody like Animal Crossing, right? Like, and they just didn't like the idea of me kind of, I guess, playing that and having that, but still having the community there. But yeah, it's cool how it can kind of cross over in that way when people just want to watch you do stuff, and I think that's fun, and just to be in the chat with the other friends in the chat. But I think still Instagram lives like get people used to your voice, they get used to your face and like chatting with them. So yeah, if Instagram would allow desktop streaming, they would hurt Twitch. Oh, definitely.
That's probably their next feature for sure. They're gonna be like, goodbye Reels, we're a streaming company now.
All that stuff is so annoying. But yeah, I have legitimately muting my Overwatch just to try chat with Elliot. Jack, please. Logan, I've decided to end my Twitch career. It's hard juggling a full-time job and wanting to play games, chat with people. It's easy to do it in other people. Oh, big time, Logan. That is a shame, but big time. Yeah. Like, it is they say any kind of social media platform is a full-time job, and it really is. Twitch takes up a lot of time, and I think that was the only reason I could do it at the rate that I'm doing it is because it actually, I had enough viewers at the beginning to actually make it seem, like could be a career potentially.
You felt you were going towards something real. It wasn't like up in the air, like who knows what can happen.
But like Twitch is such a shit platform in terms of growing. Like it is so hard to grow on Twitch. And unless you have a platform outside of it, like on YouTube or on Instagram or whatever, or even on Twitter, if you can't convert, like it is so hard to grow, and it's not even like worth it, right? It's really fucking hard.
I don't have super chat yet because I'm not a YouTube partner, so you can go below to the Streamlabs tip thing in the description and hit that up. And as for Erica, my girlfriend, you can come into the other room and hand me cash if that works any better. And Motel, is for your comment, I would love to do a Super Mario 64 speedrun, so we'll see. But Super Chat is my next thing. Hopefully by the next live stream, I'll have YouTube partner. I already have the 1,000 subs, but I don't have the 4,000 watch hours. So I'm about 70% there. So if you want to help out with that, go watch a bunch of old stuff.
On the tab, guys, and make sure you sign up for TubeBuddy to improve your YouTube SEO and content.
Exactly.
At the link in the bio.
Or check out all the Amazon links if you want to buy any of my stuff. That's an affiliate links and all that whatnot stuff. And let's see.
Help the streamer out. TubeBuddy.
Yeah, that shit is TubeBuddy's awesome. It's I'm not even trying to. It helps you. It shows you like keywords and like analytics, and it's like a crazy YouTube tool.
Oh, cool. There you go.
Let's see. I made the same decision. So the thing is, I'm finding it frustrating about Twitch is I mean, hopefully, I wish everyone luck on their streaming stuff. We're all kind of in it together. Elliot's figured out the formula, so I'm glad some of you have been able to ask him.
Sing and dance on stream.
Yeah, you pretty much have to turn yourself into a wolf. First off, you have to become a chef. You have to drop your mic into your pasta, and you have to sing and clip the audio often.
It's true. But yeah, I think also something to consider if you still like the idea of video content as a creator, then YouTube is the place to go. I think YouTube still has a brilliant algorithm in terms of getting big numbers up. And I think there still is a gap in the art side of YouTube. There's so much room for people to come in and do stuff. I've always wanted to do YouTube, but I just have nothing. I don't think my content would work. I'm better at either super long form, which is Twitch, and like improv kind of stuff, which is definitely Twitch, or super short form, like TikTok or Reels, which is a shame, but it's definitely, there's potential. Even if you're just doing come design with me, day in the life, like all that kind of stuff, there's so much room for that still. So. big ups for anyone going the YouTube path.
So you're sticking just live, it sounds like, in the foreseeable future. Live.
I think if I do YouTube, I'll just do highlights and stuff. I think.
Yeah.
Yes, do it, Casey. Seriously, it is. That's what I wanted to do. I really wanted to. For my streams to inspire others to start streaming. That's such a big thing because I know, like, not only does it benefit everyone, but it benefits me as well, right? Like, if more graphic designers come on, more graphic designers start streaming. If there's a stream,
you're gonna be like Tony Stark of the design streamers.
Legit. Yeah,
that'd be cool one day if you actually start. You know how you said you're building up like this community or team or whatever, the Avengers of design streamers. It'd be cool one day to just get a big ass like just chatting thing on there and see what like a big event, you know, just have however many people we can fit into like one of those big chats and do something like that. It'd
be awesome. Like there's so much potential for it to blow up further, and I think it relies on more graphic designers starting to stream. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. And I think it will happen. And it's starting to happen. A lot of my subs are kind of started streaming, which is fun. And it's just a matter of like getting them to commit to it and really like on my Discord, I want to help promote everyone else's. Like I've got a specific tag in the Discord that you can tag people who have signed up for notifications of other people streaming. And I think that helps. I hope that helps.
Yeah, your thing alone, like I see people probably getting at least 5-10 viewers on their Twitch whenever the people are free or whatever.
That's really good. That's what I want. I want it to be like a bigger thing rather than just the one or two people. So yeah, do you find that your comedy is also based on interaction, Steph? 100%. I'm very grateful for the funny people in my chat. Holy shit. There are some very funny people and they make it very easy. There's some great jokes and some great things that you guys I just want to give you all the tools to fuck with me. that's important. So yeah, have a look at that tip, guys, and make sure you join.
I realized I have the chat pulled up in a separate window because I didn't know if I could watch it on my actual account. So I was trying to reply and I'm like not even signed in. But if anyone has any last minute questions, we're running out of time here. I'm sure Elliot has to go off and create some more funny content.
And what am I doing? I'm watching the end of an NBA game. Actually, it's probably already ended. The Wizards have probably lost. Oh no! Maybe they're still good. They're winning, and there's 9 minutes left, so I will be watching the end of that. But yeah, I can drop the Discord. I believe it's just discord.com/hypehouse. I think actually, I'm pretty sure we have. It's a Discord partnered stream. Oh, what is it? Discord.gg or something like that? /typehouse. I think that's it. Yeah, it is. Sick. That's amazing.
Whoops. Literally. I totally opened up Discord trying to get that.
So if you just do that, it's literally just discord.gg/typehouse as well will work. Discord.gg/typehouse if you want to join the Typehouse.
Here you go too if you want to join mine. There's that one if that works. I think it should work. And then drop your Typehouse one for anyone. I would definitely recommend hopping into mine if you want to hear anything about any content I'm putting out and chat with other designers. And then especially as well as Elliot's. It's a pretty large and it has a good feel to it and everyone's super nice in there. No there's not a lot of real like drama from what I've seen or any awkwardness of people like talking shit or anything.
The ad mod team, we see it all.
Oh really?
It's great fun. We get a little. It's inevitable with the Discord that
Mernda runs a tight ship over there.
Oh, definitely. We're totally grateful for Mernda. Holy shit. But yeah, like there's any Discord is going to have its issues, and there are going to be people who come in to troll and people to come in just to start shit and make poor choices when they talk, and you got to moderate it and make it as comfortable as possible. And I think we're doing a good job. It feels like we're going to do a good job. What reel am I going to post today? Oh shit, I got to come up with an idea. Another graphic design bad tutorial maybe could be fun. Maybe I'll do the TikTok that I uploaded. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, and everyone, before you leave, if you haven't, drop a like. Go check out Elliot as well. And maybe you'll see what he'll start doing reels on Instagram. At Elliot is a cool guy, like it says right there. That is for Instagram. And what else? That's it, right? The other one's Elliot cool guy on Twitter, right?
Elliot is cool guy for Twitter. Yeah, Elliot. Make sure you get around Elliot is cool guy.
Yeah.
That's a great one. So yeah.
Awesome.
Well, this has been great, Jesse.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks so much for hosting me. This has been lovely.
Yeah, and thank you for coming on, and thank you for getting some of your I don't know what to call them, your super fans up in here and helping getting stuff rolling.
They're the best. They're the best. I love them all in a parasocial way.
Yep. All right, let's see. Where is... Trying to end this smoothly, but I'm looking for the thing. All right. Well, last chance. Drop a like. And also, you can watch this after it ends if you want to watch. This is going to be up on the channel. So if you missed it, feel free to watch it at a later time. See ya, everyone.
Hit the bell.
Yeah.